In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to make the sides of the spice rack, which is a first year project made in Beauclair Academy. So I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to go to Metric and click on the part file Standard Millimeters Inventor part files. When it opens up, the first thing I'm going to do is draw, I'll start a sketch. I'm going to do it on the vertical work plane, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. Now this is going to be one of the sides of the spice rack, so the total height of that side was 150, so a dimension at 150 tall, and the width of it was 40. Once I've done that, I finish the sketch and I extrude it to give it a thickness of 12 millimeters. Okay, so this is one of the sides. What we're going to do is we're going to make a housing joint in it at the bottom, a little housing joint at the top, and we're going to sort of round the front corner. So I'm going to start a sketch on the front face, and I'm going to draw a rectangle which starts at one side and goes all the way across to the other side. And I'm going to dimension it so that from the bottom edge up to the start of the housing joint is 20, and then the width of the housing joint is 12 millimeters because the shelf is 12 millimeters thick. I'm going to finish my sketch, and then I'm going to extrude that rectangle, and I'm going to cut it, or subtract as in SQA want you to say, by 6 millimeters, half the distance. So that's me got my little housing. There's another little bit at the back up here I'm going to do, and that's for the back spar to go into. So I did a sketch on the front face, and I'm going to do a rectangle which starts on that surface and comes down. Dimension wise, from the housing joint up to there is meant to be 70, and the size of the hole is going to be 20 long and is 6 deep. Okay, and I finish sketch. So I'm going to extrude again that rectangle. I'm going to cut it away, but this time I want to go all the way through, so I do the 12 millimeters thick and OK. So that's me get two parts of the side done. So the third part is to round this front edge, and I'm going to use the fillet command just to do that. So I'm going to set my radius to 20 millimeters, click on that front edge and do apply. So that's me got the first side done, and I'm going to call that the left side. So I'm going to do File, Save As. I'm going to save that into my folder. I'm going to create a new folder called Spice Rack, and I'll call that part the left side. Okay, so having made that, what I'm now just going to do is I'm going to take away the fillet and the two extrusions, and what I'm going to do is on the other side I'm going to draw them again, so I'm going to help myself create the right side. So I'm going to start a sketch on here, and I do a rectangle which again starts on one side, goes all the way to the other. Dimension from the bottom to there is 20, and the width of it is 12. We finish sketch and we extrude. So we're extruding that, we're cutting into it by 6 millimeters thick, and that gives me the housing. Okay, so I'll do the same thing as I did before. On the back edge here, I'm going to draw a rectangle, dimension it from the bottom to the housing, that's 70, it's 20 wide and it's 6 thick. And I'll just make sure that I've done from there to there, I've got that attached, so 0. So I'm going to extrude the rectangle, I'm going to cut into it, this time all the way through again by 12. And then lastly, the fillet of radius 20 on this top edge and apply. So that's me now got my right side, so I'm going to do File, Save As. So I've already got the left side saved, so I'm going to call this one the right side. So that's two parts of the spice rack made. The other parts are a little bit simpler to make, so I'm just going to quickly do those. File New. First one, the shelf, is just a large rectangle, so I'm going to start off by clicking Start a Sketch on the surface. I'm going to do a rectangle. The rectangle is 250 long and it is 40 wide. Once I've done that, I finish my sketch and I extrude it to be 12mm thick. And I'll file, save as. I'll save that as shelf. Okay. So the last part is the spar, which goes at the back and the front of the spice rack. So if I'll create a new part again, this time standard millimeters again. Very similar to the way I did the shelf. I start a sketch on the horizontal work plane. I draw a rectangle. The rectangle it's 262mm long. It is 20 wide to be able to get into the recess, and I extrude that by 6mm. And I'll file, save as, and I'll call that the spar. Okay, so that is all of the parts which make up the spice rack. So that's the end of this demonstration. The second demonstration will be how to assemble them together.